Monsters don't lurk under the bed at Trechthesian Academy. They're in it. From demons and centaurs to literal gods, this campus is chaotic, dangerous, and utterly addictive. Enter Wave Stormbringer, a girl on a mission to solve her father's murder who accidentally catches the eyes of the Academy's most dangerous powerhouses. What happens when the hell moon rises and all inhibitions vanish? Well, grab your popcorn and hit play. We're breaking down all the spice, secrets, and supernatural drama of Hazel Rockwood's Stormbringer. Let's get into it. So, this time around, I reviewed a romantasy called Stormbringer by Hazel Rockwood. And let me tell you, this will not be my last time reading a book by Rockwood. I cannot wait to dive back into this series. This is the first book, so I am waiting, and I think I've already messaged the author for the second book. We need this. Let's do this. Of, I guess, elemental based or natural based power, or what would it be? I think mine would definitely be a storm spirit. I mean, who doesn't want to be our girl Storm? Halle Berry, come on, Storm X-Men, all day, every day. I'll be Storm. Thanks. I just love thunder and lightning storms. Honestly, if I was a storm spirit, you would know it was me because it would be thunder and lightning all the time, overcast all the time, because I just love a storm. It just makes me feel good. I don't know why, it calms me. I don't know. So we find Wave Stormbringer. She decides to attend Trechthesian Academy. It's a plan that she and her mother put together for the sole purpose of finding out who or what is responsible for the death of her father. And we don't know much about this because Wave didn't really find out a lot of information, or if any information, in the first book. My assumption is that, well, we don't know if he's been murdered. We don't know if it was accidental. We don't even know if it happened on the Academy grounds, in the Academy. Wave suspects it could be somebody who's from the Academy who knows what happened to her father.
We don't know.
Yeah, I think there was a body, but that's about it. Wave is also just very surprised and frustrated that there wasn't a real investigation done by her family, which is interesting. Armed with the alias Wayla Spinwell, she integrates herself into this academy with other students, and these students are all different breeds, species, and ages. Everybody could be 100 years old, could be 20. According to Wave's thoughts, a lot of beings come into their own when they're in like their 30s or 40s, and we know that Wave is actually in her 30s. But I guess age doesn't really matter in this particular story because some of the students act like students, like college students. I don't know. Wave underestimates her powers because she hasn't really used them in a while, and she underestimates her ability to control them. And during this time, with her trying to control them, she's attracted to the powerhouses. Well, there's 3 in particular that fall for her pretty quickly. It's Hellion, Mark, and Jared. And we also meet Ice Clan heir Irishan, who kind of comes out of nowhere and also falls for her pretty quickly, which I still don't get it. I mean, maybe it's her siren side, because she is a siren as well. Her mother's siren powers are Wave's siren powers as well. So maybe it's her siren side, because there were some parts in the book where Wave was using her siren powers, and it was obvious by the author. I wish that we knew more in terms of why did these guys fall so quickly? I thought maybe they were just attracted to her power because she's actually a higher and powerful being than they think she is, because she has to hide her powers basically to keep her alias. But I don't know. I wish there was more information. So after the first power surge, which was basically a power fight between Wave and the Fire Clan heir, Wave basically absorbed all of that power. And whenever you're hit with a power surge, or like you've ingested all that power, there's like 2 ways to expel it. You can fight, or you can have a bit of a tryst. And so Wave's men, they come to help her out. And they're just like, we know what you need. And they help her out in the most carnal way possible. And that's when we get our group scene. We don't get all the guys, though. We only get like 2, I think, that come in and are, I think we get 3 that like come in and like really help her out and are there for her and, break her back a few times. But though Wave tries her hardest to hide her powers, Trechthesian just brings out her worst nightmare, where she ends up using people and potentially hurting people at the same time with her powers. So the Hell Moon is the first conflict that I thought was a major deal. It's a source of power that I wish that the powerhouses told Wave about more, like, which would have also told the readers more. Like, I think there just could have been more information about what it was, because when we finally get there in the story, we finally get there with the Hell Moon event, all hell breaks loose, but we don't know what it is. We don't know why it's called Hell Moon. And then Rockwood also said, well, this isn't normal for Hell Moon. Like, this surge of power in this way, turning into a war, is not normal. But we wouldn't know that because we weren't given this information to solidify what it is supposed to be in the beginning of the story. The second conflict is Wave trying to keep her identity and her siren side a secret. Now, I still am confused about why she needed to keep her identity secret. Was it because if once her identity is known, that they would know that she has a siren side? Or was it to keep it a secret because she was on Trechthesian Academy soil where her father potentially may have been murdered, or where he died of strange circumstances? Like, I wish there was more information as to why she had to keep herself such a secret. Like, I understand keeping her powers at bay, and I understand, like, her having a really hard time keeping her powers at bay because she's around so much power continuously. But I just wish that we had more information on the why. Let's talk about my thoughts so far with book 1 of Stormbringer by Hazel Rockwood. So I know that when an author sends out an advanced reader copy, there could be errors. The author mentions it in a disclaimer in the beginning of the book and even asks readers to send them a message to let them know, hey, this is what I found. It might be major, you might want to fix it. I hope that the author fixes these particular things before really publishing the book. With that said, there were just some inconsistencies that I found that were slight, but they were there, where I was a little confused. Like, there was a scene with Jared and Wave. They're in the powerhouse's home, and he decides to shift to show her his jaguar. They're playing around. It's really cute. It's a really sweet scene. But then they're supposed to be going to campus. He's supposed to be walking her to campus. But I can't tell if they've left the house, when they're having this conversation, or if they're still in the house. Like, I can't tell. I can't tell. So, you have an incredible story inside you. Bestseller vibes. But right now, it feels like a beautiful, chaotic mess. We get it. Writing a book is a frustrating process, and editing your own work, practically impossible. You're drowning in plot holes, second-guessing your character arcs, and wondering if anyone will ever read it. Stop stressing and start publishing with B&H Publishing and Editorial Services. I know firsthand that B&H doesn't just fix typos, they partner with you to turn your frustrated drafts into absolute masterpieces. Whether you need deep developmental editing to fix that stubborn plot, sharp copy editing to make your prose sing, or a team to help you navigate the indie publishing world, B&H has your back. Your story deserves to be told. More importantly, it deserves to be read. So stop staring at a blank page and hand the heavy lifting to the experts. Let's build your masterpiece together. Contact B&H Publishing and Editorial Services today and claim your free sample edit. more thoughts. There needs to be more time spent between Wave and the guys that have nothing to do with shield training. I think that they just use that as a way to get her to like to come over more and to spend time with her. But these guys fell so hard and so fast, and there's no context. There is no understanding as to why they like her and want her so badly. I also think that she has like a growing budding relationship with Jared and Mark, but Hellion and Irishan are just out there. They're just floundering out there. And Hellion was making absolutely no moves to get to know her or be with her in any possible romantic way. Irishan, though, yeah, he was doing his best, but I just feel like these guys like her so much. But why? Why? When she's exhibiting so many toxic traits. Like, she's mentally hurting them. She's evasive. She's cagey. She is obviously keeping secrets. Like, they know that she's keeping secrets, but they're still interested and they refuse to look into it. They want her to come and tell them about it. I'm saying, if I was that into somebody, and I felt like you were lying to me, oh, I would be looking it up. I would be doing all. I do that when I think when people aren't even lying to me. I'm not gonna just take your word for it. Okay, so please, there needs to be more there. I think this might also be an issue, just maybe for me as a smut reader. The first time that Wave had sex with the guys, like in the group scene, that was the first time she did it with them. I don't know if she climaxed. I can't tell. The wording, I read it 3 times. I was like, did she? Did she enjoy it? I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't tell. And I really wanted to know because, I mean, she should have a good time, even if it's for, she's doing it for a certain reason to help herself. But still, I mean, but there were other parts. Like there was a scene where Wave and Mark were on a jet together, and they were talking about something, and it was getting a little too close to home for Wave, and she decided to change the subject. But she started doing that by getting a little sexy with him, and obviously that changed the subject. But I was like, yes, we're gonna get a good scene. We're gonna see them like connecting in a different way. And it was closed. So I think that there were some parts in the book that were necessary for the smut, and then there were some parts where there weren't. Like, if you're gonna give me a closed door, then don't even write the scene. Just like, I don't think it's necessary. Like, why? That's what I think anyway. Like, it just felt like an afterthought, like that it was just trying to fill a quota. Yeah, I didn't like it. It just, if you're gonna give me the smut, give me the smut. And I think the smut needs to also drive the plot. If it's not gonna do that, then don't. Then just leave it out. Leave it out of that particular scene. Find another way to put it in there that makes sense. And I am fucking feral for smut. So don't deprive me of it. But also give it to me where it makes sense there. I also think, like, if Rockwood made it obvious that these guys were into her because of her power was attracting them, or maybe her siren was attracting them, and it confused them as to why they were so interested in her, and like the allure of her, like if it confused them and they questioned it, then I think the infatuation would make sense. Because then we would have, maybe by the middle of the book, they'd figure out what she really is, or clue into what she really is. It took a long time for these guys to figure it out, and these guys are a couple 100 years old. I don't think it should have taken this long. Like, there's so many different parts in the book where she's clearly not a storm spirit. Like, she's obviously a much larger storm spirit, a Stormbringer. And I'm like, question it, you guys. Question her. It's okay. My other grievance, or my other issue, is that this story was so long. It could have been cut down. It took a very long time to get to the ending, and it shouldn't have. That's all I'm saying. And I love the friendships that Wave develops in the story. And I also love the relationships that she's developing with these guys. So it is tough to look at like what could be cut down, what could be taken out, because a lot of these different scenes made sense and were necessary for the progression. But then there were some that just weren't, where it just kind of lagged and wasn't necessary. But in any case, I really love the way that Rockwood uses Wave's powers. Like, Wave's powers are attached to her emotions. And I love that. I love the imagery and how she uses them. Like, there's a sex scene or spicy scene between Wave and Jared in the shower, and Wave uses her water elements from her powers to like add to the spice. It was very interesting and just very fascinating how Rockwood writes that imagery. This gets 4 stars. The plot. It gave me the Bonds That Tie by Jay Bree vibes. I know. And I don't know if other people who are big fans of the Bonds That Tie, if you've also been looking for a story that kind of gives you the same feels that you did when you read Bonds That Tie. I have been looking for that vibe. Now, I'm not going to say that it's written the same way, because obviously these are 2 different authors and this is a different story. But I don't know, it just gave me similar vibes. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Maybe the same feels, I guess, but I had been looking for a series similar to the Bonds That Tie, and I read all of them back to back, and I think I was left with a hangover. I gotta say. I do like the fact that that Rockwood alludes to Wave's Stormbringer powers, like how powerful she really is, like throughout the book. And then we finally get to see those powers just like break through at the end of the book. I do think that there were some parts that, like, I don't want to say it was inconsistent, but it was kind of disjointed, where it's basically said that Wave has been this Stormbringer spirit for a long time. And I'm just like, okay, she should have her powers mastered. I just thought that she would have a better grasp of her powers because of how old she is and because of how long she's been a spirit, like a storm spirit. But there are also some parts where Rockwood is like, Wave is worried that her powers will come out, and she's worried that she'll hurt people because she can't control them. I'm like, what is it? Can you control them or can you not control them? What situation do you have to be in where you feel like you can't control these powers? So I think that need to be, there need to be a lane. Pick the lane and stay in that lane. I gave this 3 peppers. There was tension, there was kissing, and there were smack scenes. There was also an open door group scene in the first book. I know. The thing that got me, though, the reason why this got 3 peppers was because there were some parts where I thought it could have been a little more open, but it was closed.
Door open!
We got a closed door scene. We got like the build up and then it closed. And I was like, but this was a prime moment for us to see this romance come together between her and one of the guys. Now, this is Why Choose. So I felt like there were some parts to the Why Choose where some of the characters in her harem were left off. Like, I don't think we got enough build up. We got like relationships with maybe 2 of the guys out of, I think it's 3. I think maybe, no, 4. So yeah, I wanted more. I wanted more, and I'm glad this is book 1 because hopefully we get more in book 2. I think that for this story, there was a lot of action. It was just packed with action. And I think that the action drove the plot. I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. I think that the romance between these characters should have driven the plot more. Like, them trying to figure out who she is, her trying to figure out if she can trust them. You know, like, there should have been more interrelational, if that's a word, for these characters instead of the outside forces driving the story. I also feel like, and this is my opinion, remember that, the cliffhanger set up the second book very well, but it also set up the book to seem boring. I have to say, It seemed very political. It seems like we're going to be getting into some politics in this particular story, and I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't. It always falls into that genre of politics. There's always politics driving the plot. And I think that because there's so many people in this relationship with Wave, we need to be focusing on this relationship and making this stronger. Now, the second book hasn't come out yet, so I have no idea what Rockwood is going to be doing with that. This is just my opinion and what I've perceived after reading book 1. So I think that the relationship between Wave and these guys needs to be strengthened, because I think that's what's going to save her in the situation that she's found herself in. I think that with a lot of romantasy, the romance becomes a background character to the politics, and the politics take a front row seat, and I just think that's boring. I think it's very boring. I didn't come to this story to read about politics. I came to the story to read about this why choose relationship and how it fits into the story and drives the story into what it is. So, and that's also, like with the bonds that tie, there were politics in that book. I'm not saying there weren't, but the relationships that she formed in that story for those bonds, it drove the plot. So I'm just saying, like, there needs to be a balance. And I think that if you're going to write romantasy, you have to remember the balance. Like, I write romantasy, well, more paranormal romance. I have a Fated Mates series out there. It's not Why Choose, but there is politics in there. But it doesn't take the front row seat of the romance. Not necessarily the romance, because doesn't even be a romance between the characters because they've already been together for so long, but I don't think the politics takes away from the story. I think it adds to it for sure, but I just think that there needs to be a balance. Just find that balance. That's all I'm asking. I can't wait to read book 2. I'm telling you, if it's more political, I can't promise that I will get through it, but right now I can say I'm very excited about it. I am definitely going to be reading book 2, but like I said, my other thoughts, we'll see how this goes. The book in paperback, hardcover, and ebook are all available now. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment and let me know what elemental type of power that you wish that you had. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning into this review. Goodbye.